Welcome to the iPad Possibilities Podcast, episode number 33, Weekly Thoughts. In Case Convertible Book Jacket, Revisited, and more Jailbreak possibilities. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the application developers for the application. It's on my way. Found the App Store now for $2.99. And with that app, you quickly are able to plan out your afternoon as you pick up your prescription medications, pick up the kids from school, whatever you need to do. It'll help you plan out your route as you travel each and every day. So grab it today for $2.99. Well, welcome to another episode of the iPad Possibilities Podcast. I'm Tim, and I'm your host of the show, and today for the Weekly Thought episode, I thought I'd take a moment to kind of go back over the In Case Convertible book jacket. I had a pretty negative impression of it overall when I first gave my initial review back on the live show. I think it was last Sunday. But I did not have good feelings towards it. I thought it just was second rate compared to the Apple case. And after a little bit more time with it, I'm actually starting to appreciate this case a lot more than I initially did. My initial impressions, and I think many people have the same impression of this case, is that it's way too thick for using an iPad inside of it, that it's not maybe as stable of latching it into place to hold the stand in place, and perhaps another negative could be that it's not completely surrounded all the way around, where you actually have the iPad itself as a part of the thing that props it up. So those were some initial reactions to the case. But after using it more, and especially in a setting where you're just sitting around your house, basically on the couch or whatever, and trying to use your iPad, I've actually started to take a liking to it. I actually prefer this case now at home when I'm just sitting on the couch to the Apple case. And that's something that I did not have reaction to. I actually did not like to use it that way at first. I preferred the Apple case for that kind of stuff. But after using it for a week, I've noticed that the angles that you can get out of this convertible book jacket are pretty ideal for what you're doing on a couch. It enables you to use the iPad with less interaction visually. You're less constrained to just be focused in on it because of the angles you're able to get out of it. It makes it even more. It makes more use of that great viewing angle you have of the iPad with this case because of all those different viewing angles, and using it on the couch. It makes those things really ideal, and I just wanted to give it another go about, another review of it, that I actually do like this case quite a bit, and I can recommend it for in-home usage as your main case when you're at home enjoying your iPad on your couch or elsewhere like that. So I was kind of surprised after using it. I actually watched quite a bit of movies recently, and it's just great to have the iPad in this case, just having it sitting on your lap and using it. So that's my second take of the iPad in the In Case Convertible book jacket. I also wanted to give you guys an update on my jailbreak experiences so far. Now, as many people know, the jailbreak came out Sunday night, a little bit after we finished the live show. And I did a jailbreak that very night. As I was editing the live show, I jailbroke my iPad because it was very easy to do so. And I wanted to report back that my iPad, within that time period between Sunday and now, actually crashed. I had to restore my iPad, and it's now jailbroken again, but I had to do that whole process over again. I had to spend 24 hours resyncing my media because it does take that long to do so. Because what I do is I convert everything to 128 kilobits, and it's about 30 gigs of music, 60 gigs of music, I forget how much, but it's a lot of music that it's re-encoded and all that. So it was about a 24-hour process getting it up and running again. But it's jailbroken again, and I'm just I'd just recommend caution if you are going to be jailbreaking your iPad to be careful what you install. I would recommend just installing the bare minimum of what you need. Currently, I have Backgrounder installed, as well as all of the 3G enabling apps such as My3G, MyWi, and I actually have Google Voice installed. So and I also have Springboard settings installed, which are now stable. They now work really well. They don't turn your iPad into a giant iPod Touch as they used to. But I'd just recommend, I'd also just be cautious in your jailbreaking. It does work. It works well. Just know it may cause you to need to restore your iPad, as it has mine. But overall, it's been a great experience. I'm loving the ability to run Pandora in the background and run other apps in the background. It's a fantastic use. I am noticing that the RAM on the iPad, I wish there was more of it, because you do run out of RAM eventually as you run a bunch of apps in the background. So I'm very much looking forward to the 4.0 update, where Apple will have some optimized versions of background apps. But in the meantime, this works really well. As I mentioned, Dashboard is an app that is on the iPad now with the jailbreak. And what Dashboard is, for those that don't really know what it is, I wanted to spend a couple minutes and just talk about it. I thought this weekly thought episode would be great to give me some time to talk about some jailbreak apps. And this app is, if anyone out there owns a Mac, will be very familiar with it. It's exactly that. It's basically the dashboard that you get on your Mac on the iPad. So you can have as many widgets as you want, and they'll load right back up from where you found it. You can find new widgets and download them right through the built-in browser of this application. And it works extremely well. So for those that want to have their widgets that they know and love on the Mac, you can now get those if you jailbreak your iPad through a free application called Dashboard. So I would grab it today. It's very worth it, and a great little app that comes quite in handy. So that's a quick review, a quick overview of Dashboard for the iPad. And I also wanted to talk about one other jailbreak thing that came out today or the day before. But that is a pretty cool possibility that the iPad brings, that of gaming, right? The iPad has fantastic built-in games, or not built-in, but games you can get through the App Store. But what you're not able to get through the App Store are emulators. And one very cool emulator that came out was an emulator that allows you to play like Mario Kart and those type of games. I think it's for N64, but they actually hooked it up with one of those Wiimotes. So you can actually control your iPad with one of those Wiimotes and do some pretty old school gaming with the iPad that way, using the 10-inch screen of the iPad as just your gaming console, and then having your Wiimote as your controller. And I have not tested this out personally because I don't have a Wiimote, but I'd love to get the opportunity to do that. If someone had an extra Wiimote they could send me, I'd love to test it out and let you know how that all goes. Or if you could send in a review, that'd be fantastic as well. But another possibility that has emerged is the ability to just use your Wiimote that everyone has if you own a Wii with your iPad as the controller via Bluetooth, with the Bluetooth stack that is enabled through the jailbreak. So that's another great possibility that has emerged, and I thought I should just let everyone know about that, and just another reason why you might want to jailbreak your iPad. So that kind of wraps up the conversation I wanted to have to you guys today about the in-case convertible book jacket and then some jailbreak things that are going on right now. So I hope you enjoyed all of that. I always appreciate feedback, as you know, at iPadPossibilities@gmail.com and 209-542-iPad. That's 209-542-4723. Send in those feedback with both voice and text, whatever you can send. I'd love to hear comments, questions, and what I could do better. Just let me know at those two ways, email or just phone in. So I'd love feedback that way. If you'd like to support the show, you can do that through iTunes by just subscribing, leaving a review or simply rating the show. All of those would be great. If you do review the show, I'd appreciate it if you actually look to the backlog of catalogs if there's something you might have missed and why you're not happy with this show. I did notice that someone left a review disappointed there wasn't enough music shows, right? I've got 2 music episodes on the iPad Possibilities podcast. I'm not sure if he saw those or not, but there are 2 music episodes, and I'm sure to do more in the future. But I just ask that you be informed when you leave reviews, so that'd be great. If you'd like to monetarily support the show, you can do that by a couple of different ways. First off, you can purchase the iPad Possibilities podcast app. It's in the iTunes App Store for $2.99, and with that app, you get the shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as some special video episodes of the podcast that aren't available anywhere else except for there and the premium version of the podcast. You can also support this show by donating to the show. Just go to the possibilitiesnetwork.com, go to the iPad page, help Tim buy an iPad, and you can do $2.50 a month monthly donations, or you can just do standalone donations, and those are greatly appreciated. And you can also become a premium member of this podcast for only $2 a month. And for that $2, you get the shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just like the application. You get special video episodes that are available through the podcast app, and some that are only available through this premium membership. You'll also get special audio episodes only available through the premium membership, some episodes you'll not get anywhere else. So for that $2 a month, that's what you get for the premium membership. A couple other things, as you'll find out as you learn about it on the website. Just go to the possibilitiesnetwork.com to find out all the information you need. Go to the iPad premium page, and you can read up about the premium membership and all that you'll get from that, and your support there would be greatly appreciated moving forward. Every little membership counts and helps this show be the quality podcast that I hope it is. So subscribe today for $2 a month. So that concludes this episode of the iPad Possibilities podcast. Please join us this Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live show at thepossibilitiesnetwork.com, where we discuss all things iPad every Sunday night with multiple people, and it's a lot of fun. So if you could join us, that'd be great, this Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, this is Tim Chatton of the iPad Possibilities podcast.